Hello, and let's look at the, I guess it's new in the US, but it's been out a little while in Europe, the Tarocchino Soldato Bologna 1750. And this is one of the Lo Scarabeo Anima Antiqua decks, and there's one more coming out early next year and two more that have been announced for later next year. So they're still making them, and I love them. They're just wonderful. I've been collecting all of them as soon as they came out. So let's open this one up. This one does not have the smooth. Some of the earlier versions, or some of the other versions, have a smoother. This is more of a linen finish box. You can see it there. And since this is a Tarocchino, or Tarocchino deck, Tarocchino, I have 1895, so I love this little number. This is very skinny. Let's see, these are digitized. These are 62 cards. They've not been treated with chemical varnish. Faithful. Now this deck is fairly interesting, and I'll tell you why. My own thoughts on it. Of course, you have a little gimme booklet, which is very tiny and tells you absolutely nothing. And I love the size of these cards. Here's the back, El Soldato. And they're rounded on the edges. Nice. So this Tarocchino decks are, when you crack them open, when you look at them, the pips only go to 8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12. So they stop there. So it's very much a card playing game, and I don't know too much about Tarocchino. But let's look at it. So here we have essentially the Fool playing, and we have the red drizzle. The red's interesting, and I'll point out where I really think there's something to look at. This is the images from the box. Here we have the Baton, or the juggler, with 4 kids, and he's sort of doing a shell game with a knife, and he's got a little hat on. Blues, greens, yellows, and the orangey red. And this one has 4 Moors. I was reading about it, and so their 4 Moors are in the Moors are like Northern African. If you've read Othello, Shakespeare's Othello, you know, Othello was a Moor. It's one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. So here you can see it. This is what I wanted to point out. So the red pigment, you can see it has cracks in it. So the scan, there's cracks. If you've ever painted with blood or something like that, or something that has like, it reminds me of blood. That's what it looks like. And especially this reddish brown, it just looks like the blood's clotted and cracked. I don't know, maybe animal blood or something. I don't know how this was painted, but with all the red that's being used, it almost does look like blood. And I thought that was really strange. Has it been painted with blood? You know, I think it would have turned darker than that reddish color, but it just seems that way. Here, there's this big clot there. Another Moor. Another Moor. And then the last Moor is there. Here we have the Lover's card. Fully figured Cupid with the 2 figures. There's a Chariot. Again, very loosely, a loose tarot, but an interesting take on it. We have Justice. The scales are tipped. She's also tipping her head to a globe. The Hermit has wings and is crippled. There's a money bag there, behind a column. Root of Fortuna. Again with the clotted blood look. It's just a strange... There's that reddish brown that you'd see once it oxidizes. It's like Prince, King, then falling to the... And there's a tree. It's like a tree wheel. Here's would-be Force with the column. The Hanged Man, Bendu. La Mort. Death. We have a wreath down here. Temperance. So interesting takes on typical Marseille imagery. I mean, obviously it's influenced. They influence each other, or a version of it. The Diable. Again with the blood. Look, you see like the ripples of the clotted blood. Like it's, I don't know, it's just... We have a trident, flaming tongue, bat wings, fires of hell, or either plants. Either one. The Tower. This one's interesting. People have landed completely on the ground. There's fire coming from inside the tower. Here. This person looks like they're sleeping. This person looks like they're probably knocked out. The Star. Here we have a papal crown here. Crowning. The Moon. Here we have a typical... This is like a it's very Mantegna, but it's also Fiorentine, Minicati, with the extra cards. The Sun. We have a spinning the yarn. See again that clotted look on the Sun. Here we have Judgment, 3 figures. Full figured angel here. Look at that drizzle, that dot dot drizzle of the background in the world. Here we have Mercury or Hermes, the winged feet, the winged helmet, the Caduceus, yes, and then we have sort of a town or something, probably, maybe the of Bologna, the symbol of Bologna, the herald, essentially. And then we go into the pips. So look at this beautiful, beautiful cup. I'll put these over here. Then it jumps to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we have flowers sprouting out of them. And we have sort of the woman, valet, or knight. We'll just call her woman. Then we have the knight. We'll call her the page. Queen, which looks like a king, but no beard. And the king. He's got some floating cups, and he doesn't look too happy. Looks kind of drunk. Then we jump to coins. We have these sort of... This reminds me of the face that's typically found in the Marseille Wheel of Fortune. That sort of lidded eyelid. The dog, the rabbit. That's a rabbit, I guess it's the dog going after the rabbit. And then 6, 7, very simple. 8, 9, 10. Carte Finidal Soldato. So we have, I guess, page, knight. Oh, this one's fancy. Queen. She's got a lot going on here. King. Much better shape than the other. King. Then we have the swords. No. Baton. This is a sword or baton. It's hard to tell. Ah, it is a baton. But look how it's being held. It even has a hilt. It's also quite phallic. 6. 7. We'll call these staves. 9. 10. The drops and the cross there. Bono nia docet. Bono nia docet. What does that mean? That is Italian. Bono nia. Oh, it's Bononia docet. It's a Bologna. It's star and crescent. Bononia docet. Bononia docet. Bononia docet. Okay. And there's the knight, or cavalier, chevalier. This queen is also very fancy. Look at the faces on her. She's got a lot going on. She's wearing Nikes. And then SPQB. Familiar with SPQR? SPQB? Look at the floor. He's got that sort of Saturday Night Live, Saturday Night Fever disco floor. And then we have swords. Look at this sword here. This is crazy. It's circular, not very effective sword. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we have a cross one there, so instead of the 2 like that, we have a cross there. And this one says Ibirtas. It's kind of hard to read. Page. Knight. Look at that scimitar sword. Queen. A simpler queen like the other one. Usually so we have 2 simple queens, 2 fancy queens. She looks like she might be pregnant, maybe. There's the drops of blood. Ink. And then we have the king, who has a little knight on his little shield. He looks very young. And that's the deck. That is the Tarocchino El Soldato. Bolognese. Bologna. I think there was a delay. The next one that's coming out in the Anima Antiqua, usually it's 2 a year, but this one I think the next one's coming out in January, and then later next year, usually July, August, and we get them later. The other ones come out. So that is the new one from El Scarabeo, the Anima Antiqua series. There you go. Thanks for watching.